right, here we are. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Banner Press Coaches Show. I'm Chris Wimmer from the Banner Press. I'm here as always with Coach West. Coach, I have to do my little preamble here as we get going. As some of you may have noticed already, if you're watching for the third time, that we have some new digs. We are here at the Brenham ISD Department of Technology studio. They got a great little setup here. We're going to keep experimenting with this and see if we can build out an even better studio for you. So we're going to keep playing with the look, keep trying to make it better. But that's where we're at today. We're being hosted by Brenham ISD. We're happy to be here. Thank you again, Coach, for coming in. We appreciate it. So in lieu of a game to preview this week, we're going to do a little bit of a recap on Episcopal and just checking with the guys and see what's going on.
Sure.
So as we go back in time a little bit to Friday's big win, when you and I spoke on this program last week, you knew you were going to have your hands full with that Episcopal team. They got talent everywhere, just like you said. But you guys came out with a great win. Did you and the coaches see anything over the course of the week after we talked as you built up to that game that gave you some insight that maybe you might see that kind of performance from your team on Friday night?
Well, obviously offensively we need to be able to run the football.
Right.
And we, talking to our offensive coaches through the week, they felt like that we had an opportunity to do that. They're a stunning defense, which if you can catch them and keep them contained inside, even though they're running upfield, it allows you to have some big plays, and we certainly had some big plays offensively.
And that actually leads very well into my first question, more detailed, more specific, that I asked Tamaris about this after the game, but I didn't necessarily ask you about, so I wanted to hear from you. I thought I was seeing, from my observation post, that when Tamaris would hit the line of scrimmage on some of those big runs that he broke, that the backside of the line really did a great job pushing upfield and giving him that huge cutback lane, almost like a swinging gate. Did you guys see that as well, both on the field and maybe afterwards? Am I crazy, or was I kind of seeing that backside of the line really got a good push? So he hit the line, made that one cut, and he was gone on those plays.
Well, Coach Adams and Coach Martin, Coach Cook, and Philip Roberts, who we got from Pearland, had come up with a plan. Philip had visited with him about something he thought would be a very good compliment. And so we were running what we call a stretch or a sweep kind of play, to the right. And then we built in with that the play that was hurting them so much was actually a situation where he was actually cutting back against the grain.
Right.
So they were walling off, so to speak, one direction, and he had almost a two-way go.
Right.
And kind of you take on the abilities of that kid and the vision of Tamaris, and he was able to see that and good enough athlete to make that cut.
Yeah, he did have great vision, certainly to find the hole, to see it. So his two-way go, he can either keep following the play or he can see that cutback lane.
Absolutely.
And that's, the little insight for the viewers. I'm from Iowa, and so I went to the University of Iowa. We run that stretch play all the time in Iowa. Also a Denver Broncos fan, and Terrell Davis made a living off of that play back in the 90s. So I'm used to kind of seeing that, and I could recognize him. Yeah, when he saw those gaping holes, he was just gone.
Yeah, he had a great night, and has that ability to do that kind of stuff.
And the play then to move on slightly, one of the plays you and I did talk about, which was kind of fun, was that you hit those 3 deep post passes that we'd seen in the green and white scrimmage. Kindarian was able to nail those passes, 2 to Travion, 1 to Montarius, and they all 3 worked very well. How exciting was it to actually see those plays work in a live game against a quality opponent like that?
We needed to do that. We needed to be able to throw the ball. The first week of the season, we didn't throw it very well. We didn't have to.
Right.
And in this game, they were given a straight man coverage, and they were loading the box. Again, they allowed us, if we blocked it correctly, to have some big plays, but it was screaming, throw the football, by how they were lined up. And, we made a conscious effort that we wanted to get Trey active in that football game.
Right.
And Coach Adams and I visited just for a little while in the middle of the first quarter and said, we need to get 3 into the game. And he said, Coach, we're going to do it right now. If we can protect this, we'll be able to do it. Of course, he was 5 yards past this guy. Made 2 great catches, and then Montarius did as well. And as we talked to you just a little bit ago, we're going to continue to do that because we have some tall targets that are really good athletes, and we need to get them the ball.
Absolutely, yeah, and it worked very well. It was exciting for me because, like we spoke about after the green and white scrimmage, that play was targeted over and over. You could tell that you wanted to do it, and this time we got to see it live, and it worked very well. So as I flip to the defense for one last question as we wrap up Episcopal, I know that you guys didn't want to give up as many points and as many yards as you did, but as I was watching, it looked like you were able to get some pressure on them. So some positive things you might be able to take away from that defense was that I was seeing Shannon Lambert in the backfield. Obviously, Eric Preston had some great success blitzing off the edge. Can you use those things to build off of as you move forward with things that you want to correct?
I would say probably the surprise of the game, or the guy that is maybe the surprise of the fall defensively, is Bubba McWilliams, sophomore.
Yeah, and I didn't mention him. Absolutely.
He actually had a sack. He had a bunch of tackles.
Yep.
He was very active, and he's 280 pounds, and he runs really well. Shannon Lambert had his best game of the year, and did much better than he did the first game. And as you said, we were able to do some blitzing. Unfortunately, we missed some tackles. And that's got us, and we blew some coverages. But something that happened to us in that game that is really strange. We had several kids go down with serious cramping.
Right.
And so there were times we had 4 and 5 new players in the ball game, and we were really running out of bodies towards the end. We were trying to milk the clock. And some guys that came in and did a really nice job. We had some substitutes that Callan Martinez came in and played safety the whole second half and gave his best effort, did a really nice job. And so, we were able to get some different guys in the game and contribute, and that's what football is. It's a team game.
Great. Well, ultimately it had to be a good win. You got a lot of the backups had success. You had success in different phases, a lot of success on offense, some defensive success at different times. So it must have just been a good win overall to finish up your non-district schedule, abbreviated though it was, before you move into district play next week.
Well, after doing this 34 years, there's no bad win. Anytime you win a ball game, that's a good thing.
Right.
And so that for sure. And then the second thing is there were no serious injuries.
Right.
So if you can get out of a game with a win and no serious injuries, you feel like you were productive.
But the last thing we want to do before we wrap up is that obviously there's no game this week. You have a bye. You start district play next week. So what are the guys going to be working on this week as you have a full week of practice with no game to prepare for technically on this Friday night?
Well, it's interesting because yesterday we watched film and lifted weights and sent them home. They needed a day off. They hadn't had that in a while. Then today we'll actually work on ourselves.
Okay.
We're going to go back and look at what we didn't do well the first couple of weeks because we were going at such a breakneck pace.
Right.
And slow down and get better at fundamentals. And then tomorrow we will introduce Magnolia West, and we'll do that tomorrow and Thursday. So it gives us 2 extra days on Magnolia West, 1 day to take care of ourselves. And we have quite a few kids that are involved in the fair. And
that's coming up this weekend.
We really encourage our kids to be active in as many things as possible, and so we schedule this open date. We try to for the week of the fair, and we have several kids that are showing, and so we kind of move our practice schedule around what's good for them so that they can do all things that they need to do. And good luck to those guys this week. Hope they make some money so they can pay for some colleges.
For sure. All right, well, that's going to wrap up the coaches show. As Coach just said, please look for some of the football players at the fair. They're going to be out there. They're going to be doing their thing off the football field. We'll come back next week. We'll preview the Magnolia West game in depth next Tuesday afternoon. And as a quick tease for potential viewers, we might have a second coaches show this week. We're working on it. I can't guarantee it, but we might have a little bit of a double effort for you this week. Thank you for watching again. This has been the Banner Press Coaches Show. We'll see you soon.